Hello, beautiful artisans. Welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I am enjoying a nice hot cup of coffee after hours of doing a little sewing, a little thinking, managing, cutting of yo-yos. So if you are coming back, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I just love your comments, and they really keep me going. They inspire us. They inspire us all. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Jump on board. It's totally free. And we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. That is what we do. We want to extend and expand the life of fabrics or items or whatever it is, and inspire you to make or to sew or to create whatever you want. So with that, I will tell you, um, the yo-yo quilt that we're about to make. This fabric. First, I want to go just over this fabric. This fabric, I found a stamp on it that's a 1997. I think I was going to say 1897, 1997. So, this is like 27 years old, almost 28. So I knew this was definitely old. And we don't think of the 90s as like vintage era or antique, but I'm telling you, when something's about 30, think of that like if it was 1960 and something was made in 1930, yeah, that would be old, right? That would be like an antique for the time of 1960. Well, this is almost 30 years old, so this is totally vintage, and I thought that it was. Now, when I sew through this particular fabric, there's a little pull to it, and but it could be because the flowers are possibly screen printed or painted in some way. So, anyway, so I'm going to share with you the sizes and a couple things. If when you think about what's around your house, almost everything is a circle. Look, this is a circle, um, and this is a 3-inch diameter. So if you were to trace this, the yo-yo that you make is going to be 1.5 inches when you're done. I used this little top to a little to this vase right here. You can see it. This goes on top of there. But so this is about 4. So the and I'm going to show you the circles in a minute and the little yo-yos that go along with them. But the reason I'm showing you this is you do find things around the house, whether it's a plate, a small plate, large plate, medium-sized plate, a bowl, and things like this will help you find those circles. Once you get the circle that you want, just keep a prototype or keep a piece of cardboard that is of that circle. And that just makes it so much easier, right? You probably already do this, but it just makes it so much easier for you when you go back and you want to make more yo-yos. So with that, what I'd like to do is just show you the different sizes that I ended up doing, and then after this, we're going to sew a yo-yo with you. We'll do a small one. You see how fast it goes. So anyway, but if it's too small, guess what? It doesn't go fast. If it's too small, you're like this, and I'm going to show you that first. So, okay. So, what we're going to do with this yo-yo quilt, we are not going to give it a backing. No backing for this. And you're like, well, Carmella, how are we going to do that? And it's super simple. So first, we're going to get our circles and yo-yos made. So I'm going to put the screen down so you can see. And I may have to sip my coffee there. And we're going to measure. So look, the first, I'm going to move all these over for a moment. And look at the size of that a yo-yo. You get a really good idea of it. Okay. So we're going to measure. That is super, super tiny. Okay. It's not even 1.5 inch diameter. And it is from this circle, which is 3 inch diameter. That's what this is. And it comes out. Now I see, yeah, it is about 1.5. I'm sorry. It is 1.5, which would make sense because it's always going to be about half the size of your raw cut. So, but look how adorable that is. So I cut out a few of the yellows. Now, when I cut these out, you notice I pin them. Now, I pin them before I cut. I trace whatever it is. If it's this top, I trace it right onto the fabric. And then I pin the fabrics. I fold the fabrics into many folds so that I get a number of my cut my circles at one time. So these are about 3 inch diameter, and this came out 1.5 inches, about 1.5 inches. So that's what those are. And I did this beautiful vintage. I'm going to have some teeny tiny ones like that too. So what I do is I pin them for the time being and just keep them in a little pile like that. Now the next size, and I'll put the screen down again, is this is about 5. That's about 5 inch diameter. And I was using different things. I was just using some things out of the kitchen for these plates, tops, stuff like that. So it's 4 inch diameter, and here you can see 2 inches. But look how adorable that is. And even on this side, because we have the texture. So we have that. Now, next, what we're going to do, well, I have more over here, but what we're going to do too is kind of put them next to each other, do a little stacking, see what the flower effect looks like. Yeah. So, okay. Now, this is the next size up. Okay. So this is about 6. Okay. So this should be about 3. And so it's not, it's 2.5. So let's see if that is 6, if I measured it or if it was over the edge there. Yeah, it's about 6. And this is about 2.5. So the thing that and I was saying this in the other videos, and I'll show you when we're sewing the yo-yo. Now, when you are sewing the yo-yo and you're folding it and you're cuffing it as you go along and gathering it together, there may be some areas that lift a little bit. So, or you cuff it down even more. So that affects the size slightly. And at least for me, that has been my experience. So that's what's probably happening here, which is fine because look, you still have a difference. There's still variations there where this is larger. So, okay, I want to show you this one. Love this one. I love, 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 love this one. You know that I love this fabric. This is, I don't want to say this is even a 90s. I feel like this is a 70s or 60s. This is beautiful. So let's put this down. Okay. And this yo-yo came from this size. So this is about 8, almost 8.5, just under. So, and the yo-yo is just under 4. So that makes complete sense. Look at that. And so I did a few different designs. I'm using the purple. Now, when you do your yo-yo, you want to keep your brighter side on the outside. So, I love that. Okay, so that's another size. And let's see here. So we've got this. Now these I also totally love. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But this size that I cut is about 10 and a half, very close to 10 and a half. And this measures 4.5. This is 4.5. This one, I bet you it's a little larger because the stiffness in this fabric is just going to make it come out a little bit more. Just a tiny bit over 4.5, a teeny tiny bit, not much. So the variation is not much. But look at these side by side. Now, when we sew these, we're just going to put them back to back, and then we're going to do a stitch. So, and yes, I still use the little guide line of, I want my stitches not to be, they don't necessarily have to be perfectly in a row, but you don't want them up and down and all around. You want to, when you look at your quilt, you want to see your stitches going straight across. So, look at those though. Are those just lovely? So yeah, so these measure 4.5. Okay, so that's lovely. So now I did the larger one too. Oh, did I show you this one? I think I did, yes. And we'll take a look at all of them in a second, side by side. So we're going to put this over here. So, we have 6 different sizes. And this is the larger yo-yo. You always want to center your center. Center your center, okay? So this is our 14-inch and 14, just tad over 14. And this is 6.5. Yeah, it's very close. Well, it's very close to 7. It's not quite 7. Now, I have found that they come in less than 1/8 of an inch of the size. And the reason is now you can get what they call it's like a little piece of equipment that makes yo-yos, a yo-yo maker. You still hand sew, but it will give you more evenness. I do not use it. I feel like it slows me down. But check out these yo-yos. So anyway, this was 14-inch diameter. And so this comes out about 7. And this is the largest so far that I've made. Now, I stopped at 14. I was thinking to do 16, and I still am. I still may, but I stopped at the 14. So I've got the beautiful daisies and the purple. I'm loving that. So, okay, now what we're going to do, I'm going to put the camera down. So, and we're going to just kind of put these like near each other for the heck of it. Okay, look at all the sizes that we have. Look at this teeny tiny one, right? That is the tiniest. That's just adorable. Okay, so what I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if I can actually do it. But I'd kind of like to try. Now I'm going to have more variation in the designs. Now, there's a couple different ways we can do this. We can make a bloom. What do I want to say here? We can make a like a garden bloom design yo-yo quilt. without the backing. Or what we can do is give it a little bit, I don't want to say consistency, but we can pick designs of flowers, let's say, that we want to make and just have them throughout the quilt. So we can do like this. I gotta tell you, this is kind of what's on my mind. I'd kind of like to overlap. Now, you have seen me I got the quilts on the other side of the room, but we have basically staggered um 2 sizes for the quilts that we've made. We've staggered the 2 sizes. But check this out for a moment. Let's say we use that same kind of method, staggering sizes like this. I guess I should have made more with different, but let's just use that for a moment like that. Or we'll use that one like that. And we're just kind of overlapping. Like, check this out. I'm so excited right now, I can't even stand. We're overlapping all the designs. I feel like I need more designs. So I may have to use some other, look at this. Okay, so you get my drift? We're kind of just stacking them. Now, what happens to the back part of it? Let's just look at that for a moment. I just want to look at that. Okay, look. The back of it is not going to be, it's going to be all right. I mean, this is a method. This is a method. I love this. Okay, so look. Now, when you put stitches in that, it's going to, of course, flatten it. So, but look at these little ones. So, I gotta tell you, I really am toying with the idea. I love these 2 sizes right here. This side, okay, you know what? Right now we're going to make a yo-yo. Okay, so I'm going to show you with the small, not two. Yeah, I'll show you with the smaller size. We'll use this is small, but, sometimes the smaller sizes take a little bit longer. But not too long, trust me. We're gonna fly through this. But until you get used to it, you got to hold it. It gets smaller and smaller. And so I am right now, I'm doing a triple knot. You can do double. I do double, triple. I noticed lately I'm using more triple. So I feel like I want to make one with a whole bunch of tiny ones too. Anyway, this quilt is going to be a little different. Now, some of you may say, well, okay, if you're going to do it like that, how are you going to get the parameter even? So I am going to get the parameter even because I'm going to start with the parameter. Okay, I am going to, like this. I'm going to take whatever size it is, whatever size, probably the larger, and I'm going to go overlap, overlap. You know what I mean? I'm going to make the parameter. After I make the parameter and everything's secure, then I'm going to start building my design garden bloom on the inside because then I can enjoy it. I don't need to worry every second. Well, do I need to measure it? You know, I'll have my border, my parameter all made, and it will be just like making a masterpiece painting in the middle of it, okay? So now with that, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put this down And this is the lighter side. You can see that. And this is more vibrant. And so we start folding it in. Now, this is what I'm talking about. A couple of things. If you stitch it too close, like you could stitch it closer to the top. However, if you do that, when you gather it, it's not going to close all the way. Like it's not going to close a lot. It will be a little wider. Okay, that's the only difference. So if you go more towards the center of your little cuff, you're going towards the center. Okay, so I'm just starting like in between the fabric there to hide the knot. And I'm just simply doing a running stitch. And I'm staying in the center of my cuff. I want to stay in the center of my cuff because that allows me to gather the fabric so that when it will close in and be more of a closed center. So that's one thing. This is a lovely fabric, I have to tell you. I just love this right now. Okay, so we're going all the way around. And now this is what I'm talking about. You see right here? Now I need to pull this down. I need to keep pulling it down. So before I put that my sewing needle through, I'm pulling it down with my thumb. And I'm just doing like that. This is a running stitch. That's all that this is. Now, to pull it, what you want to do is pull from the back here. You want to pull the fabric from the back and you're pushing your needle through, just like when you do with sashiko stitching. You push the needle through. So then that way, oh, and you got to be careful of this. See the little knot? It wants to knot. So that's because I have a very long thread, I probably could have cut that a little shorter. Okay, so I continue folding, and it's about 1/8 of an inch. It's not much at all, but you want it to be enough that you can grasp it, you can work with it. If it's not folded enough, you can't work with it. So it is the little slight variation of your hand stitching and folding that creates a very slight variation in measure between your fabric yo-yos. It's right here. It begins here. So, like I said, the little piece of equipment that you use, it pulls it over about that much. And but the more, I will say this, the more you do this by hand, the easier this will get for you. And the part you still have to do with your little piece of equipment. Whoops. My eyes are going screwy on me right here. Is you still have to do a knot. You got to make sure you knot it well. You got to make sure you're fluffing it. You're fluffing your fabric so that your center is up. Now, usually, so I'm sewing this up on the table. Usually, what I do, how I do these, is I rest. I rest it on my knee. Okay, that's how I do it, and it's just easier that way. It's easier for me to see it. It's easier for me to manage it, maneuver it, and sew it. So I know what some of you are thinking, that Carmella, you're going to sew your knee one of these days, and I probably will. I've sewn different parts of my body unintentionally. Let's see. So okay, now we're on our very last thread. Okay, and you just kind of want to puff it out. Look how small this is. Look how small that is. But look how adorable it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, now small piece like this. So all I'm going to do is I just I want I want my thread on the inside. Okay, so I just kind of want to do that. I want to get it end it on the inside. I don't want to end it on the outside. So there it is. Just simply adorable. And now I'm going to make a couple of knots very close up to the base of it here where it ended. I might even do 3, and that way it keeps it nice and secure. And try to get that knot. If you're not getting it close up to the base, kind of fold it out like this. It's okay to do that. It's not going to come apart on you. Or you can even do a little knot like this, kind of sew it right through. And just make sure when you do something like this, that's beautiful, okay? That you have your little yo-yo gathered the way you want. Now bring your needle in, pull it to the end so everything's hidden in there. I just love this. I love the vintage fabrics. I'm just so many people love vintage, right? And this is the reason is there was just the quaintest type of decor still at the time that the vintage was made. So okay, so here we have another teeny tiny little yo-yo. So we did that. These sizes I just really love. Now, so there's so many things that we can decorate. We can decorate um, bags, scarves. I mean, I haven't seen scarves, but I figure if you do fabric yo-yos in a silky kind of a way and you make a little rosette or something on the scarf, I think that would be super adorable and stylish and kind of vibing vintage, depending what you're using. But we can, and you can even use these little ones for, I mean, I wouldn't put it in my hair but I'm thinking for, um, the younger generation, and depending what type of fabric it is, you can make some hair ties or put them on elastics or whatnot easily. So anyway, there's a lot that we can do. So this is what we're going to do. Next time we come back, there will be many more yo-yos, and you'll see my border. I will start making the border. Now you're like, well, Carmella, how are you making the border? So, this is my thought. You know what? I'm going to actually seriously come back and show you how I made the border, because this is what I'm thinking right now is I'm going to take about the same size yo-yos, and I think it will be the 7-inch diameter that's made from the 14-inch, so the largest of the yo-yos, and then I'll put them back to back and just stitch them like that, and I'll show you how we'll do that and make the border. And then from there, then I can add and do designs inside, and we'll do those together. So with that, I hope that you are inspired. I am just tickled about this. I love this combo. I may look for another floral to add to it. Now, today's Monday, and we have this art and craft fair on Saturday. And so Saturday we won't be doing a project. I'll be there. But in the meantime, we'll see what we can get done. Now Wednesday, we'll take Wednesday to reassess everything that I am bringing to that craft fair. Okay. So, with that, I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful day. Make your yo-yos, get ready for your garden bloom, and it's going to be your masterpiece. So, with that, you have a beautiful day. We'll see you in the next one.